Don't have a child. Don't have a child. Seriously though, don't have a child unless you are ready. Cause like I said.
Well, hello everybody. Thank you again for tuning into the channel, Brianna is Mindful Healing Journey. We are so excited to have you here once again. So as you know, on the last episode, we talked about single parents one-on-one as far as advice and tips on how to raise children being a single parent and the struggles that come along with it. We talked a little bit about a topic on the last episode, but we're going to talk about a little more in depth exactly on what it is. So we have Caitlyn here. She is so why are you smiling? So we have Caitlyn here. She's a great friend of mine. We worked together previously and we just grown to just have a special bond between each other, and I'm so excited that she actually wanted to come on this channel today to talk about postpartum, which that is the subject that we'll be talking about today, because honestly I really don't know that many women who actually go through postpartum depression, but the more that I talk about it, or the more that I talk to a parent and we actually kind of get in deep on what actually parenting is, they actually bring it up and say, hey, I kind of went through postpartum depression. Mm-hmm. So just Caitlyn, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm 30 years old. I am the youngest of 7 kids. Preacher kid.
Y'all already know how that is.
Wait.
What they say, right?
I have a little boy. He's 8 years old. He has autism, but he's on the spectrum. I have my bachelor's degree in business administration, concentrating in human resource. I am enrolled again to get my master's degree, so I'm working on that. Yes. And I'm also looking to start my career, basically. Mm-hmm. That's about me.
Okay, all right. So let's just jump right on in. So, Caitlyn, tell us what actually is postpartum depression.
Postpartum depression is basically, to me, from my point of view, postpartum depression is like the step after having a child that you like, especially your first child. But it doesn't normally happen after your first child. It can happen after you have multiple kids. Mm-hmm. But to me, it's like an uncertainty. I feel like it's everything from the moment that you found out you were pregnant, leading up to the birth of your child. I feel like it's really like a chemical imbalance. It's definitely like any other type of depression, but at this point it's just like, how am I going to take the care for my child? How am I supposed to know what to do when X, Y, and Z happen? How am I supposed to navigate this new beginning as far as parenthood goes? Or this continued journey of parenthood if I have multiple children already? So from my point of view, that's what postpartum depression is.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So how did it affect you dealing with postpartum depression?
Postpartum I would say it affected me in a way of like my self-esteem. I let myself go tremendously after I had my son. I felt like I was already in a low place in my life because I was like 21 when I had him. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't, at that point in time, I wasn't ready to have a child. And I felt like I disappointed a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And like I know for most people, I know for someone personally that had it, they've actually wanted to do harm to their child. As opposed to myself, I never really wanted to do harm to my child. It was more so myself. I wanted to be alone, isolated. There were times where I just was like, he doesn't deserve me, or I'm not what he wants or what he's supposed to have, or I'm not ready for that, so I can't give him what I didn't have. Because I think at that point in time when I had him, I wasn't financially stable. Me and his dad were young kids, 21 years old, like I said. First time living out on our own, living together, trying to navigate the world, be young adults and stuff like that. So, in hindsight, I don't think neither one of us was ready. I know he was a little bit more than I was. And I think that kind of where, like, the dynamic of our relationship changed, but we can talk about that later. But, yeah, like, it definitely affected my self-esteem, how I looked at myself. Like I said, I just wanted to be by myself. Like, I was like, I have to run away. Like, I can't do this. I don't know how to do this or whatever. But, yeah, like most everything that happened, my self-esteem took the biggest hit. I stopped loving myself. I stopped taking care of myself. At that point in time, like I said, we was in a financial bind. Like, I couldn't afford self-care. I couldn't afford the little things that I felt like that I needed to get me back to who Caitlyn was. I lost myself. Like, just now, even though I had my son when I was 21, just now at 30, I'm actually taking a deep breath and finding out who I am and who I'm trying to become, and to love on who I used to be. So
that's pretty scary.
Definitely.
Fact, like, I already know by me just not having children that I find myself losing myself in times. But I feel like it's even scarier when you have someone that you have to take care of and you're losing yourself through that whole transition. So it's like, well, I know from observations, like, you want to give up, you want to shut down, you want to just be like, hey, I can't do it anymore, but you have to keep going because you have a child to take care of.
Definitely.
So it's like a whole scary situation for anyone to deal with.
But then, you know, in most cases, your children can actually become your beacon of light. Like, there has been so many times where I wanted to give up, but I had to look at that little round
right.
boy.
Look at your baby.
And he had, like, snapped me back into it. Of course, you know, kids are gonna be kids. They're gonna have their moments where you just wanna, like,
shake him.
Be quiet. I mean, so it's like kind of having to take a back seat and learning how to take a back seat to them and what they need at that moment. So it's definitely stressful, because it's like you have to kind of like snap your emotions back in, like, hey, focus on the child, then you're gonna be mad later. So there's been plenty of times I was just like, just go lay down, just go, and I just go in my room real quick, close my door. Alright, we good. Definitely.
That's scary. So I think, and I'm gonna ask you this question too, do you think every mother goes through postpartum depression, or does it just depend on where the mother mindset is?
I wouldn't say I don't think that every mother goes through it, but I think everybody has their own form of it. So that's why in the beginning when you asked me what is postpartum, I said what I felt like postpartum, because I'm not going to speak for everybody else because it's not the same.
Right.
So I feel like it affects people differently. As far as like how they feel, and because like there is people who do self-harm or have hurt their child or stuff like that, and the crazy part about it is people just think postpartum lasts like within
a short amount of time.
No, it still happens. Like I find myself in moments where like I just get real depressed because, like I said, Casey has autism. So it's like autism, if you don't know what it is, it's kind of like a social, I won't say disability, I will not say disability. It's kind of like they have to learn how to be social with other people. And KJ's thing is boundaries. He doesn't really understand other people's boundaries. So, I mean, it's like, I'm getting my train of thought.
It's okay, girl. It's okay. Just talk. Just speak. Look, we just talking, so you good. It's okay. You were talking about autism.
Yeah. So basically, KJ, he go through his social thing or whatever. But as far as that, I feel like it depends on like I said, it happens. And because he has this thing where he wants to be under you or, you know, walk like this close behind you or, you know, just be on top of you. Whereas, like, sometimes you have those moments with postpartum depression that you want to, like, give me my space. Like, respect my boundaries. We're working on it because, like, it's not just at home thing. I feel like it's something he needs to learn outside in this world because people do not understand autism.
They don't. They look at it and it's be like, okay, I don't want to deal with your child with this person because they have autism.
Right, and people definitely don't want to deal with him, and that kind of like hurts me a little bit. Yeah. So it's kind of like I find myself avoiding places where there are a lot of people, like Chuck E. Cheese and stuff like that, which I try not to do because I have to think in my head.
Because he's still a child. He needs to experience all of that and learn.
To be in those surroundings, how is he going to know? So it's like when we do go in those settings, like I'm like, what you doing? Where you at? Okay, there you go. Who that little kid back here? They better not touch my baby. I'm hit him back. Trip that little kid. So it's kind of like that, and I try not to be like that. Right. But like I have to let him experience it. But like I said, that's how I won't necessarily say every person deal with it. If they do, then I feel like they have their own little thing, like their own uniqueness to whatever.
Because it comes in so many different types of forms. Like I met a lady, I would say a lady woman. She's around 23. If you look at her, you talk to her, and you have a conversation with her, you would never know until she says, "Hey, I have autism, but I'm on this type of spectrum." Because I didn't even know it was that many spectrums.
It's so autism. Many. It is like, so many.
You would look at a person and never really know until they actually say it. Because I'm like, girl, I didn't know you had autism. I didn't know that. And so how she, I'm not sure what spectrum she's on, but how she expresses her feelings or how she expresses her form or connection is she does paintings. She's like, so when she listens to a song or hears a song, an image or a color will pop up in her mind, and that's what she started drawing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I was like, that's pretty cool.
Maybe I need to do something with that, because I know KJ, he loves music as well. Like if you pay attention, like he would sit there and learn a song and actually would sing it back, like constantly repeating it.
Like a record player. Okay. All right.
But like I never really dived in like what can really help him. Like, I know he loves electronics. I am trying to get him into coding because he does love electronics and stuff like that. I know he has dreams of becoming a police officer.
Oh,
or astronaut
really?
Or something like that.
I cannot see
Exactly.
I cannot see him as a police officer, but okay.
That's what he said. He wanted me to either be a police officer or some type of astronaut or something like that. So I'm basically trying to get him to explore different things. And that's the thing about kids with autism. Sometimes they do want to learn different things. Sometimes they don't. Right. Like he definitely has his things. I'm surprised. Like I love KJ's school. I love his school. His teachers actually care and they work with him on everything. It's like I called like, y'all need me for anything? Like, do I need to step in? They was like, no, we got it. I was like, no, but I need
I need to know what's going on with my child. Like, what's going on? Let me know.
So they really work with him as far as like his academics, helping him with autism. Like even when we first found out he had autism, like he fidgets a lot. So like when he gets frustrated, he has to get up and walk around the classroom, or he has to pull on his ear, or he'll bite his fingernails or something like that. So he gets real fidgety. So like the school even stepped in and bought him like one of those rubber bands you can put on his chair. So he'll kick the rubber band. Now like when he gets fidgety or whatever, he has like a little toy it's like a little Lego block kind of toy, but it's like rubbery. He kind of chews on that a little bit when he gets anxious instead of chewing on a pencil. So I have to pay for almost every week new pencil. Right, new pencil. So like love the school hands down. There's different tools and stuff out there that actually benefit like kids with autism and stuff like that. I know Caitlyn was going through like this behavioral therapy that he had. I think he only did that close to a year, and after that, like he graduated, and he was like, "No, I'm coming back. I like being here, so I'm gonna come back." And they was like, "No, you can't come back because you don't need us no more." So,
right.
But they still do like check-ins to see like if there's any areas that we feel like he still needs help on. They give us little feedback, little tips, or what have you. So it's definitely worth knowing the tools that are out there. How we got that tool, we started expressing to his primary care physician like about the things that he was doing and all that, because KJ is really, really small for his age. Like he's this tall, and all the kids in his class are like this tall. We're like,
so what grade is he in?
he's in the 3rd grade.
3rd grade? Okay. Yeah, he's tiny. He is tiny.
He is very tiny. So, so his physician basically told us like all the things that we need to do, and stuff as far as that goes. So he sees a neurologist once a year, and then she actually was the one who recommended the behavioral therapy. So behavioral therapy is basically like whatever you as parent, whatever goals you want to set for your child, they help encourage and work on it with them. They give you little tools or whatever that you can do at home to kind of like identify the areas that he still needs help on, and kind of like groom him to continue that training or whatever. So it's definitely tough.
I have a stepsister. My dad is remarried, and it's my dad's wife's daughter. She has a son, and he has autism.
Okay, yeah.
And I think I mentioned to you before because I wanted you all to connect, because she was like kind of new because she never experienced having a child.
So he
with
did
autism.
end up having it.
Yeah, so he does have it. I'm not sure what spectrum he's on, but how he is, I don't want to say anything wrong, but how he is, he's not really verbal with his words, so he'll be like or like say something or say a word repeatedly, so he's not really verbal. And so what they're doing now for him is they're learning him sign language, I guess, so he can start talking. But he's at a point where he's so I'm like, I want to learn sign language. You know sign language?
I'm hearing impaired.
You're right. I didn't know you learned sign language though. I didn't know.
I didn't sound like I basically went to school with like hearing impaired people and deaf people.
We need to talk about more. I want to learn sign language. I don't know nothing about sign language. I know ABC. I remember AB if I'm not even doing it right. But yeah, so what they do for him, they just got him in a class just learning sign languages. I'm not sure exactly everything that he's doing, but from what I know that he's doing sign language. And it's so crazy that he has autism because my dad seen it way before he was actually diagnosed with autism. Because this famous show on Netflix that kid watches, Coco Melon, he was watching. I'm glad I skipped that phase. He was watching Coco Melon, and my daddy was like, he got autism. I think he autistic. I'm like, I don't know. Well, one, I haven't really been around the child enough to really know his behavior, but my dad has. I think he's autistic. I'm like, I don't know. So the mom went to go get him diagnosed to see if he really had it. He came back and had it. And the mom was just so supportive of just getting him those resources that he needs so he can be the best kid that he can be with those learning tools and those resources. But I just, for me, I feel like it would be scary because I feel like I would not know exactly what I need to do for my child, what I need to provide for my child. Because it's like, okay, now I know that my child has this. I need to make sure I do everything I need to do so he can feel like a regular kid. And I'd be like, hey, he does have this diagnosis.
Right.
And I just feel like that would be challenging for me. But it's challenging for any parent.
But then you can find like those little support groups.
Right.
Like there's literally a support group for everything now. Social media is awesome thing. They even have like I remember because KJ, like he has motor skills as well that he still haven't learned as far as like him trying to do. I think he really just started learning how to ride his bike. I'm not sure. That's more of his dad area. His dad handles that type of stuff.
Going outside with them boys.
Right.
Going outside.
So, but plus, his dad has like other kids, so
right.
Like, they have. So with him, he's just me and him.
Right.
So over there, he has more kids to play with. So he like he can't really just ride a bike. So there's like resources where you can Google how to teach kids with autism how to ride a bike, and then it'll show up. First you start with the scooter, and then you start on the bike, then kick push. Then you encourage them to use the thing or whatever. So it's not only that, as far as the sign language. You remember that there is actually this place, I cannot remember the name of it, but they do like interpretative services for the deaf and hard of hearing people. Like whenever they need it, they actually have like free sign language courses. So even if your sister wants to get into that and learn more, as well as you or anybody in the family, they do have like those services. I have to find it, and I'll definitely let you know what it is.
Yeah, I'm about to look into that and give her all the resources. Because when I found out, I was like, okay, I know a friend who had a son with autism, so I just want to help her in any way.
How old is he?
So I don't want to say it. Because
you know how old the child is.
He is, I think he's 2. He's 2. It is very horrible, but I barely see him too, but I think he's 2. I hope you're 2. I'm sorry, but I hope he's 2. Yeah.
Oh man, that's messed up.
But yeah, I think he is.
Poor baby.
But anyway, did all of this dealing with postpartum and dealing with a child who has autism, did that affect you mentally in any type of way?
Definitely. Like I was saying, like you have to kind of like
breathe, take a step in and breathe,
and kind of like push yourself. There are moments where I find myself like snapping out, cause like be real, we're parents, we're human,
we're human, like
cause like with KJ, it's hard because it's like you talk to him as soft as you could. Like I'm like this right here. All right, baby, look. Yeah, you got to stop and get down to his level, like look him in the face.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, baby, look. Go sit down. We're gonna get hurt. That's it. As calm as I can possibly be. And don't listen. Do what you want to do. Okay. Baby, I said sit down before you get hurt. Either by me or the thing that you're doing. That don't work. Boy, if you want to show, yes ma'am, I'm gonna sit down. And he gonna sit down. It's like, why do I have to go to the level?
Right, because I don't want to yell at you. I do not want to yell at you at all.
And I hate that. Like, I don't know whether it's a communication barrier or what. And I hate that I have to go that route or say things like that for him to listen. It's like, just listen to me myself for us. And we won't have this problem. So it's kind of like a switch. So once like you get going and then you keep going, and I hate that. And then next thing I'm like, alright, you can't whoop him or whatever. Like I'm not opposed to whooping because I feel like they are effective. It's not, some people are different. You know, we all have our own opinions. I'm gonna turn that ass up. I try not to whip him though, because like I said, he does have autism. So the thing about that is the boy is smart and he knows what he can and can't get away with, and he does things on purpose. Like I've caught him doing things. I'm like, now you know that wasn't right. He bust out the laugh. I'm like, oh, okay, so that means you understand. So now we got to understand that it's not right. So next time I'm like, kick the tail. We know I kicked the tail. As long as you remember this. So,
that is so funny.
You gotta watch them kids though. They sneaky.
Kids are very sneaky. They're very sneaky. Because I'm a Cancer too.
Yeah.
When is your birthday?
July 3rd.
July 3rd. Okay, mine is 16.
Yeah.
Mine is 16.
You're sneaky.
I'm not really sneaky though. I may used to be sneaky. But I done threw them cards back in 2000. I done had it with them. But also, girl, what did I want to say? What did I want to ask you? Let me go to my notes. What did I want to ask you? Let's see. How has raising a child been for you, being a single mom?
Hard. It's definitely hard. Especially like his dad is in his life. I would never take that away from him. Shout out to KJ Daddy.
He sure is. Let's say that.
Oh.
Well, he is. Since I've known her.
Shout out to you, brother. I always give you your flowers because you there. You can be. But you there. So.
It remind me of that song. That flower song. Hours. Look at her.
Oh. I'm busy.
Okay. That's the person I thought about. You said flowers. Ooh, I started singing that song. Hours.
Oh, Lord. Ooh, that song. I love that song, but I hate the song. But anyways, off topic. But
right.
Anyway,
let's go back.
So it has been hard because like his dad drives over the road throughout the week, so I was soon going at a full-time parent role. Like it's easier on the educational side because, like I said, like I have an awesome support system. Like as far as his school goes, they're on top of it. Anything that he needs or lack, they're calling me, or I'm calling them when I have questions. They're always there to answer them. Like I don't have any like hesitation from his teachers or anything like that. Especially special education teacher. I love the energy that she puts into him. Just encourage him, giving him encouraging words and all that stuff. Those are the things that he uses to kind of like that pushes him to the next step. And I try to do that. Like we do words of affirmation, and stuff like that. Cause like we trying to get it. It's just
right. We are.
Amen. So I try to do like affirmations with him and stuff like that. But it's definitely been challenging as far as wanting to maneuver. Like you can't always just get up and go like how you want to. You got to make sure, okay, where he gonna be at, or am I gonna have time with this time? I can squeeze a little bit in between here. Which is why I give his daddy his flowers, because as soon as his dad get off the road from driving the truck, he calling me like, hey, where my son at? Boy, you here? Come get him. Come get. You want me to come meet you? I'll meet you. Whatever, drop that location, address, I'll call.
Girl.
Here he goes. We coming. So, no, his daddy. I really appreciate his dad. So, trying to be there and trying to be that male figure in his life. So, this definitely, like I said, kudos to his daddy. And it's been hard, like, because I've had to turn down a lot of jobs that would have helped me excel in my career because like it wasn't working with my schedule with KJ. Anything that I can try to protect him from, I definitely do that because I don't feel like nobody else has the same, heartfelt interest. I mean, of course, my mom and dad or whatever, but still, that's me. That's a part of me. It came out of me.
Right.
So I just feel like, can't nobody protect him like I can. And I know if anybody else is gonna go hard for him like I do, it's gonna be his dad. So as far as co-parenting goes, we definitely have a lot of work to do. There's no bitterness though. We don't do bitterness over here. He has his family. He's happily married, and I'm so happy for him. Like him and her, they make a great team, and she's an awesome stepmother to KJ. I give her her props too. I mean, sometimes KJ ain't easy to handle. He is not. So for her to even want to like consider him and accept him as a son it's okay
amazing.
With me, right? So there's, like I said, no bitterness going on in that area. It just, me and his daddy are both leaving, and we're like literally 12 hours apart. So it's like he knows how to tip my scale sometimes, and I don't even feel like playing. I be like, look, brother, do you want to get cussed out? Which one is it? But like I said, we definitely are working on our relationship as far as being a unit, especially in front of him. So the way he knows, like, hey, mom and dad on the same page, like whatever you trying to do is not gonna work. So yeah, so it's definitely been hard, like trying to do things. I'm not gonna say by myself, but for the most part, I do handle everything that comes in that moment by myself. So if I could call her dad, I'm like, hey, look, I need your input. What do you think? And I take him what he says in consideration, or whatever, and I do what's best for everybody as a unit. So like I said, it's definitely hard dealing with that, especially like when I'm having the autism. So it's kind of like you have to. Should I punish him for this or shouldn't I punish him for that? Should I go easy or should I go hard? Should I, what can I do to nip it in the bud? Like you're making those decisions, and it's kind of hard too, because it's like you're making those decisions, like those spur of the moment decisions by yourself, and it's like, am I doing the right thing that benefits him? Question yourself right? Am I choosing the right path that'll be good for us as a family and all that stuff? So it's like, it's kind of hard when you don't have that other person or that significant other right there with you to kind of like lean on a bit. So just FYI, stepdaddy season. So yeah. Stepdaddy season is in. Stepdaddy season. No, I'm just playing. So funny. I'm just playing.
So tell me. So tell me, what are some things? I'm sorry, we are like real goofy right now. I'm sorry, please excuse us, but we're serious.
Always though.
Right, so serious but so goofy. Okay, but tell me, what are some things that you wish you would have knew or known before you even had a child? Everything.
Don't have a child. No, seriously though, don't have a child unless you are ready. Cause like I said, the moment that I found that I was pregnant, I had just turned 21. It was the week after my 21st birthday. So Mama was turning up. Didn't
right. Drinking, bottles popping everywhere. Okay.
So I would say, I won't necessarily say don't have a child unless you're ready, because sometimes like kids are blessings, and sometimes they're that actual step that we need to slow down and figure out what it is that we want to do. But I will say, like, you have to be like mentally prepared for it, because I think like the whole time I was in labor, I was like, I'm ready, get him out of me. I don't want no more. I don't want to be pregnant no more.
That's my scariest part. When I give labor, I'm so scared of that.
The moment that they was like, okay, it's time to push, I was like,
you was already out.
No, I'm not ready to be a mama. They was like, nah, you was talking about that stuff. You come on and go be a no. I'm not ready to push. So it was like, and you know what the craziest thing I say about that? I feel like that exact moment is when like the postpartum hit, because like normally you hear women talk about like as soon as their baby comes, like they had like their magical moment. I didn't have that with KJ, and I don't think I actually had that until KJ was like 3 months old, and I actually like held him. It's like, it's the most beautiful thing ever. Like that was my first moment that I had with him, and like the first week that I had him, because of my hearing impairment, I was scared to fall asleep. Like for that first week I had him, I did not sleep.
Think you would hear him.
I didn't think that I was gonna hear him, but like I did not fall asleep for shit. And the crazy part of that, it was around 4th of July, so people were popping fireworks and all that stuff. So that was another reason for me to stay up, because you know sometimes fireworks mean gunshots or whatever. So definitely get educated about the type of birth that you want to have. And especially for us black women, they don't really take us serious, because I had a nurse, and I will never forget this. Because I was in so much pain, which is why I feel like I have a high pain tolerance now. Like I was in so much pain, like I was crying, but I wasn't realizing how loud I was. The nurse literally came to my hospital and was like, "You're too loud. You need to be quiet. You're not hurting that bad." And I looked at her like,
looked at her so
B-word.
Right.
The fuck? So I was like, anyway, so like definitely no, because like my doctor wasn't a good advocate either, being that he was an older black man. I thought, because I'm like,
right, he gonna protect you, make sure he do everything.
No, ma'am. Matter of fact, I had a friend who actually used him as a doctor too, and he ended up like she needed stitching. He ended up messing her up where she can't feel anything down there.
Oh my goodness.
So you definitely have to do your research on these doctors that you choose.
So would you suggest maybe a doula? A doula?
If you can afford that. Because I know they're quite expensive, but like that's why I say make sure you're financially ready if you can to have that child. So that way you know the resources there. You may even can look into like the state healthcare have like TeamCare or United Healthcare. Maybe they have something where you can get one of those or whatever. I wasn't prepared for stuff like this. So, and then I know as soon as I wanted to have my son, I wanted to breastfeed him. Didn't have the doctor because my son his temperature was low or something like that. Yeah, his temperature was low when he first came out. So they took him and fed him on a bottle with formula. So when I was trying to, I was like, no. I was like, why would y'all do that? I said I wanted to breastfeed. Like, no, he wouldn't take it. And so with me being stressed out, and then they had prescribed me some medicine for my postpartum. It dried me up. And then when I stopped taking it, and I was like, I don't need this medicine, I stopped taking it. Like that was my flow started coming in, but at that point in time, he was like, "Baby, I don't want that. I want the bottle." So it's kind of like I felt defeated because I know that was the one thing that I wanted to do. So definitely go to these birthing classes, go to these lactation classes, go to whatever class they got. Go. Whatever.
Go to a class.
And that's one of the things that I regret that I did not do. Another thing is, when you feel like you have that, make sure you have a partner that is willing to listen to you. And I feel like that was like one of the biggest reasons that me and his dad kind of filled it out the way that we did, because like and my own, now in hindsight looking back, I do feel like he kind of like, I won't say men can have postpartum depression, but I feel like they can feel it. They can go through like their own,
because I heard they kind of go through their own symptoms.
Right, they go through their own little cycle. I mean, he's the first time dad. He's working this job that he really hated, wasn't really bringing in the money that he wanted to bring in, trying to take care of us, trying to prove himself worthy in the eyes of my family and all that. My mom and dad weren't having that shit. Like they was like strict or whatever. So so he had his own thing going on. So when I tried to talk to him about it, he was basically like, "You don't have it, you'll be alright." And I was like, "Well, yeah."
Right.
So in hindsight, I thank him for doing it, because it made me grow up, and it made me realize like this is not, yeah. So definitely having a partner who is understanding, who at least tries, if they give like a piece of understanding, that should be enough. Because you definitely need that support, especially if you're a first time parent. You definitely need all the support you can. With shout out to my mom, my dad, my siblings. Whenever I do need that support, I have them. I don't ever hear no, because they love the little crazy child.
Right. I'll take them.
Right.
Whatever you need, I'll take them.
Definitely, especially when we was working together, I couldn't pick him up from school. My mom was awesome at picking him up from school or whatever. So that was a good thing for me. Yeah, just having a support system. Make sure you're financially stable, having a support system. Definitely do your research. Like I said, around that time, like I had stopped working, so that kind of hurt me a little bit, because the job that I was at, like my manager, I hated that man. Like he wouldn't put me on light duty. So I had to quit. So I was still in school. That's when I was going to school for pharmacy technician. Yeah, look, I don't. When
She done been through so many. Oh my God.
So that's when I was going to my pharmacy technician thing.
It's okay. So, you found your path. You found your path, so that's all that matters.
So like I said, financial stable, having the support, doing your research, and definitely be in the moment and live in the moment. Mm-hmm. Also, don't forget about yourself.
Yes.
Number one, do not forget about yourself, because like, if you're not at your best, your child is not going to be at your best. And best believe your child feels everything that you feel. Even though you may not see it, they're watching you and they're looking at you. So definitely that. So
it's so funny that you said it too, because I grew up single parent. So whatever my mom, when she was going through something, I could see it on her eyes. So I'm like, okay, she feels sad. I kind of feel a little sad. I don't know what she's going through, but
and you don't want to have your child feel that way.
You don't want to have your child feel that way. So I can definitely understand that totally. So we want to get a little spicier, a little spice, a little salt, pepper on the chicken.
A little hot on my salt.
Hot on my salt. What's that? Worcestershire sauce.
Nah, look.
That Worcestershire sauce. Girl, right. I don't even know how to say it correctly. But anyway, how is dating life being a single parent?
So, you know how we talk about kids that have attachment issues?
Right.
So, I cannot date because Kayla has an attachment to this one particular person that I brought around here. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if I was to, he'd be like, "Hey, Mom, is that so-and-so on the phone?" Try to ignore him.
Right.
"Mom, tell so-and-so I said hey." I was like, "Shut up."
Bruh, this ain't him. This somebody else. Be quiet.
And one time I was just like, "Hey, let me tell you that."
Yeah, like, you are ruining my mood. You are ruining my chance for this opportunity. Leave me alone, KJ.
So, definitely I would say, try to keep any potential away from the child unless you know it's a for sure thing. So that child, I don't know what it is. This is one person he just attached to. Mm-hmm. But it's definitely hard, because it's like when you're dating, especially as a parent, it's like you can't fun date. You got a serious date.
Right, because you want to know, is this man gonna really,
like, does he have all the characteristics that I want to be instilled in my child, or whatever. So then
you're not gonna run away when I say I have a child.
Well, you know, I normally get there. Most dudes like single women. You know why? Because they say whenever they get rid of their child, that's when they're the most freakiest. Trifling.
Okay.
Trifling. So most men will go for a single mother. It just depends on how many
children you have,
and then how many kids, dad that you have. Yeah, that's when they like get tricky. So we 1 for 1 around here.
I got one child, one baby daddy. What's up? I'm free game. Free game.
I mean, it's definitely some pee in a dating pool. It's some piss in it. Mm-hmm. But there are some guys, you know, you come along and it's like some of them, like, you just can't like your values don't match. So you have to really, like, do I overlook his value for me wanting to have love, comfort, and whatever it is else that I'm wanting at this moment, or it's like, I can't do that because I have a child. And I don't really necessarily think, I think as a mother, if you have a little girl, it's a little harder, because it's like you want her to think you get loved correctly, so that way it won't affect her self-esteem and think that, hey, my mom is putting up with this, it's okay for me. Right. I mean, most times some little girls don't be like that, but you never know, like, what their child is seeing.
And I say just trusting a man around your daughter too, because you don't know where their mindset is.
That too.
It's like, do I feel safe leaving my child with this man? Right. Is he gonna do this to her, or is he gonna respect her? So it's like, am I really comfortable or am I not comfortable?
Right. Because, like, my thing that I look for is consistency. Like, if you can't be consistent with me, and I know there's not a chance in hell you're going to be consistent with somebody else's child. So, if you, like, if I feel like you dropping the ball, and I'm going to say something a few times, but after a while, if I'm keeping on constantly repeating myself, then apparently I have to get in my head, okay, this is not something that he want to do. So, at this point, you need to be trying to hit the road, Jack.
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more. Well, are there any last minute tips you would like to give to single parents who deal with postpartum depression, or just single parents in general?
I would definitely say that you are not alone. If you find yourself in a place where you feel like I can't go on, or you feel you're like you have to look for this person to be there for you or this person to be there for you, when you know good and damn well you need to leave that person alone. Like, sometimes solitude is what you need to look at the bigger picture. Getting to know who you are and being who you are for your child is what you truly need. Even if it's you, like me, for an example, I've been raised in a religious background. So I found like there are other resources out there that has helped me fix myself, fix my past trauma, fix my issues. Like, I'm big on past trauma and fixing issues and not letting things go past me, because you never know, like, that stuff can attach yourself to you, and you not knowing like you're having these issues. So if you are a single parent, definitely find time to self-care, meditate, pray, find you a friend, find you another mother friend, or like if you don't have your family, find you another trustworthy friend, or if your child has a best friend at school, get to know that family. Do those things so the way, like, if you need a community around you, definitely, I would never tell people like you don't need a community. You definitely need a community, especially if you're doing it by yourself. So definitely self-care. Have trustworthy people around you. Just live for that moment with your child, because there's only the time your child gets older and they're gonna be like,
I'm gonna leave me alone.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that day a little bit past it.
I'm gonna leave me alone.
Girl, I went to the bathroom right here. He was like, Mama, I'm in the tub. I was like, my ass.
I need my privacy now. I'm at a point where I don't need you no more.
But
privacy mode.
Self-care, find you a community. Just overall, don't forget you. After you've been a long hard day of being a parent, working for somebody else, or working for yourself even, take a moment every day for yourself. Even if it's just like 2 seconds. Like for me, like I do my affirmations, I read my Bible, I read a book, I do whatever I feel like I need at that moment. So that's what I do.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Caitlyn. It has been an honor to have you here. Today's episode has been really inspiring because it taught me some things that I didn't know about you, and just seeing you now before today, like, you are such an amazing mother, and it's just so girl, shut up. Anyway, you're just so inspiring. So I just hope this episode really inspired and helped single mothers out here who dealt with postpartum depression, who dealt with just feel like they are alone in this spot that they just cannot find a happy place out of. So I want to say thank you again. Subscribe down here below. You will see the icon, whatever it is, it'll pop up. But subscribe. I'm just so happy to have you here. We are on this healing journey of just finding peace within ourselves and making ourselves whole again. So thank you.
Great job. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Bye-bye. Look, cheers.
Yeah.